for to chew your fingers up if you ain't careful. Granny, can I sit in this chair? All right, Granny's gonna prop that right there. Okay, keep going here. There we go. Granny got down. All right. Well, now, folks, let me tell you, Granny, she's a come down from the hills. Granny gets out breath easy. She's a come down from the hills to tell y'all some stories over the next few weeks. We're gonna, can you not, this picture's a pretty picture. It's grandma's grandbabies and their friends. But I can't see y'all. Granny's gonna tell you some stories about some important mountains in the Bible. Because mountains are very important in the Bible, and the mountains are important to Granny. Granny loves the hills. Got a little cabin up there I live in, and I just sit on my porch and rock. Rocking's a good thing, don't y'all think?
No.
No? Yes? Do y'all fall asleep when you rock?
No.
No?
Really?
Sometimes Granny dozes off, and I wake myself up with snoring. All right, what, sweetheart? You got a big bed now? That's a good thing. Just don't roll too far to the edge and fall off. You'll bounce.
I did that before. I do.
Yep, hurt your head if you do that. All right, now.
I got just like a billion beds.
Okay, Granny's going to tell y'all a story today about this old feller, and his name was a Moses. Y'all ever heard of a Moses before?
Yes.
Yep, we're going to talk about a Moses in the burning bush. Well, you got to get Moses to the burning bush, and before you get him to over yonder. All right. So what happened was Moses, he was born in this land called Egypt, and he is raised in Egypt and all that kind of good stuff. Like Granny was born and raised in the hills. And then old Moses, one day he did something bad and broke the Egyptian law. And he didn't want to go to the Egyptian jail, so he hightailed it through the desert. And he run to this land called Midian. And he stayed in Midian, and while he was in Midian, he found himself a woman, and he married up, and they settled down. And then what old Moses did, you know what Moses did then? No, he didn't die yet. He's got a long way to live. What's your name, little feller? You're a cute one. What's he say his name was?
CJ.
Oh, CJ, I remember you. You've done growed up a little bit on me.
I'm growing up so big.
Yes. Yep, y'all are grown up now. Look at y'all all handsome young'uns. Where was I?
I'm older than you.
Granny done forgot where she was. Where was I? Somebody tell Granny where she was.
Moses married
Yeah, that's right. They got married, started having young'uns, and then Moses, he started attending the flocks. And he had sheep and goats, and so, folks, I don't know. We got sheep and goats up in the hills, and I'm going to tell you, they're some of the stinkiest creatures you ever going to smell. And they didn't bathe them back then like y'all got dogs and cats that you bathe when they start stinking. That's a good thing. But then was a stinking goats and the sheep, and he's attending his flocks, and he's settled down in the
my
Midian,
cat
and he's
loves
happy.
cat food and water. No, baby. My girlie has a heart on her stomach.
She what?
She has a heart on her stomach. Our cat, she has a heart that looks like a heart.
Oh, she got like a marking like a heart. I'm thinking it's a real heart that's a sitting there beating on her stomach.
But we lost my sister's cat named Fruit.
But you lost your sister's cat.
My cat's a green
I think you might be glad that cat runned away, because it sounds like a mean cat. Oh, maybe she's just getting old and cranky like Granny. Could be. All right, tell me where Granny was again. Were we attending the flocks yet?
Yes.
All right, so we was attending. I gotta turn this way. Can I? No, it's okay. I'll just turn this way. Thing's heavy. All right, so he's attending his flocks of sheep and goats, and then out of the corner of his eye, he sees this flicker. And he looks over toward the flickering, and it was a bush that was on fire. And he stared at that bush, and he stared at it, and he said, that bush is on fire. And then he said, but you know what? Them branches on that bush, it ain't turning black, and they ain't burning up. This is something I got to see. So Moses, he has started wandering over toward that burning bush. And all of a sudden, he hears somebody hollering, Moses, Moses. And he turned around and didn't see nobody. And they said, Moses. He says, no, that's my name. So he hollered back, here I am. And then he heard that voice say, Moses, this is God. And Moses went, uh-oh. And then Moses said, okay. And God said, you are getting close to sacred ground, and your feet is nasty and stinky. And so is your sandals. So take off them nasty sandals. Well, Lord, his son embarrassed to have nasty, stinky feet and sandals. Y'all ever have it when you wear sandals and you play outside and you come in and your feet's just so dirty that when you step in the bath water at night, the dirt floats up to the top? Oh, Granny used to play outside like that, and my mama would say, Lord, have mercy, child. I'm going to have to drain the water and then bathe you again. You're so filthy. And so sometimes Granny's mama would change the water, and sometimes I just bathed in the dirty water, depending on my mama's mood. But anyway, so Moses had the dirty feet. And then old Moses, he got scared. He is scared to death because it was a God talking to him. He is just so scared. And he hid his face. I think he should have hid his feet, but he hid his face instead. And then he said, God said, Moses, my people's in Egypt, and they've been crying out to me and crying out, and they've been saying, God, help us, we're hurting and we're miserable. And he said, Moses, I've decided you are going to go back to Egypt, and you are going to go get my people and bring them back here. And Moses said, me? God, you want me? I can't go back to Egypt. And God said, yes, you can. And Moses said, no, I can't. And God said, Moses, you're going to go back to Egypt. And Moses said, but I can't go back. Little old me can't go back. Ain't nobody going to listen to little old Moses. And God said, yes, they will. And Moses and God talked back and forth for a little bit. Folks, it don't do no good to argue with God. Because you're going to do what he wants you to do. So anyway, Moses finally gave in, and old Moses, he went up and he went to Egypt, and he was going to talk to that mean old Pharaoh. And he did, and some things happened. But now that's a story for another day, of what happened in Egypt. Now what Granny wants you to learn here, in this story, is number one, you can't run and hide from something that you do when it's wrong. You ever tried to do that with your mama and daddy, and they found out anyway, didn't they? You can't do it with God neither. He's even smarter than your mama and daddy.
God's smarter than anybody.
And anybody, that's right.
And even he doesn't.
That's right, he is.
He's a powerful person.
Right, these young ones been educated well, my Granny can tell.
My dad
And
gave
then,
me.
that's a cool little thing. I don't know what it is, but it looks nice.
It's a task force.
Alright? And then, Granny wants you to learn, too, that you need to take a bath, because you need to keep your feet clean. Because God likes clean feet. Alright? And the last thing Granny wants you to learn is that you do what God tells you to. Now, at your little age, you might not always hear God speaking directly like Moses did. Alright? But God will speak to you through your mama and your daddy. So you mind your mama and your daddy, and you be a minding God. Y'all got that?
Yep.
All right, now y'all got any questions for Granny? So I figured CJ would have a question. What is it, CJ?
How old are you?
Real old. Older than dirt, according to my grandkids. Granny's older than dirt.
I'm going to know. So fun.
Oh, you are. Now, are you David? David, come here just a minute. Would you mind doing that? Do you mind coming up to see Granny just a minute? You don't want to come? Yes, you can come with them. Hey, sweetheart, what's your name?
My name's
Mary?
Mallory.
Mallory. Oh, Mallory, that's a wonderful name. I knew a basketball player named Mallory one time. You're a pretty little girl. David, Granny, even though Granny lives in the hills, you come stand over here with Granny right here. And you come here. Come on, Granny, don't fight. I just look ugly. I don't act ugly. Come here. Come here. All right. Now, Granny, even though Granny lives up in the hills, Granny got what they call the internet. All right? And on the internet, Granny gets prayer requests. And Granny got a prayer request to pray for your little arm this week. And Granny's have been a-praying for you. Is that good? All right, does your little arm feel good now? You won't get that thing off, don't you? That cast? Yeah. Well, you keep it on there then, okay? And you know Granny's are going to keep praying for you, okay? All right, you look like such a handsome boy. You a good friend to stay with him. Now, what are you? Come here. You look so cute. Come here. Yes. Oh, Mallory gonna give Granny a hug. You ain't scared of ugly Granny, are you? No.
I'm not scared either.
You're not scared either. Now, she belong to y'all?
No.
No? All right.
Mallory.
All right, young'uns. Now, Granny wants you. You want to come see Granny? Come here and see Granny. Like I said, Granny's just ugly. She don't act ugly. Look at her hug. Oh, Granny's getting lots of hugs from good young'uns. That's right. Now, Granny's are going to come back and see y'all next. Come on up if you want a Granny hug. That's a good young'un. And look at this good young'un. Yeah. All right. There's Bryce. I know Bryce. He got that curly hair. Grandma's hair used to be curly like that. Who are you? What is his name? Aiden. Aiden. Can I, Granny, have a hug? A little hug? Oh, little hug. That's good. I love your shirt. Granny likes fast cars. Granny don't move fast anymore, but she likes cars that do. And who are you? Madeline? Maddie. That's a good hug, Maddie. And who are you?
CJ.
Oh, CJ, I should know that. And who are you, sweetheart? Oh, Hannah, that's a good hug. And who are you?
Wait, today's Sunday.
All right, that's a good hug. Boy, look at this pretty little girl. You got purple flowers in your hair. You think Granny's hair would look pretty with those? Felicia, can I give you a little bitty hug? No hug? Hug? Little hug? Little hug. There we go. Little hug for Granny. All right, now, children, listen to Granny one last time. Listen to Granny one last time. Now this week, Granny wants y'all to mind your manners and mind your parents. Brush your teeth. All right? And wash your feet.
And wash your hair.
Yeah, I reckon you can do that too. All right, now, I want all you youngins to be ready. Granny's going to tell you about Moses and Mount Sinai next week, and that's a longer story, okay? All right. Now then, it's a time for Granny to go. Who's taking over after Granny?
Bye, Granny.
Bye-bye. All right.
Go run me some
Y'all
vegetables.
take care, youngins.
Actual will